Hello everyone. Welcome back to another Pick a Card tarot reading. I know it's been a little bit, but we are back in action, and this time we are going to learn what is going to happen for you in March of 2022, or what you need to know about March of 2022. So this will get you through about a month here if you're watching this at the end of February or the beginning of March, and I have 3 piles for you. Now, if you are an old pro at this, you might have already seen one that is calling your name. Please like, subscribe, and come back every week for more videos. Now, if you are choosing pile 1, 2, or 3, if you are already ready for one, you can find the timestamps down in the description, and you can click there to find your reading. Remember to take what resonates. Is a two-way street with tarot, so you kind of have to be able to intuitively know what is meant for you. And I always suggest you can watch a couple of different piles if you're really torn. So if one is calling to you, but you're kind of a little bit torn, there might be a message somewhere in the other pile for you. So you can definitely watch multiple piles, and the message that is meant for you will resonate wherever it needs to. So I'll give you a moment to meditate on your piles, and I will see you for your reading. All right, so group number 1, you chose the pyrite, and pyrite is often known for like luck or bringing in abundance or money. So if that's something you're thinking about this month, then your intuition was already in line with your intention. Let's find out what your reading has in store for you. Okay, so already what I'm sensing is that you've got something going on where you're kind of doing some mental gymnastics, or you're trying to get yourself kind of out of a little bit of a bind. Like there's something going on and you feel like you need to somehow climb out of it, and it seems like there are a lot of different obstacles that are potentially popping up for you. So I'm sensing that you are, you've already started working on it, but that's something really interesting that's coming up for you, that you're kind of trying to get through something. Oh, okay, so another wands. So what's interesting is you've gotten 2 wands here, the 5 and the 7. And this one's showing me that you are at a time where you really need to protect your energy. Like you're about to level up or something, and you need to protect your own energy so that you can, it's kind of like that saying, I saw it actually on someone's post today, that you need to be able to have your cup filled so that you can fill others. Like if you're running on empty, there's no way you're going to be able to give what you want to other people or to projects or to different things like that. So it's almost like she's protecting herself with a bubble, and she's kind of drawing her energy and protecting her energy. So just know that during this time, it is okay to feel like, you're kind of doing your own thing and trying to recharge. But I think that's important to get you through whatever is going on with this bind you find yourself in. Okay, this one's interesting. So a lot of people, when they see the devil card, they automatically think that it's something terrible. And honestly, what it can really mean is like temptation, or there might be some sort of commitment. So I almost wonder if maybe you've overcommitted yourself to something that you're not entirely sure that you want to stick with, or it's something that's scaring you, or you might feel a little bit trapped, like you're being lured to the dark side for something. But I don't actually think it's a bad thing. I think it's just, again, it's a symptom of you leveling up, and there may be some temptations along the way that may lure you onto a different path as you're trying to fix this. And the message that I'm really getting is like slow and steady wins the race. So there may be temptations along the way, but honestly, a lot of times the devil comes with like a good commitment. Like it's like you've managed to overcome any temptations that would take you down the wrong path and bring you to the right one. So what I'm getting here so far is that you are going through something where you're kind of being tested a little bit. You're having to find your way out of it and really like find yourself, level your way up, is what's going to be happening in March of 2022 for you. And the 8 of Cups, this one's interesting because you might feel a little bit like emotionally empty or emotionally drained because of what's going on. And I think that for some of you, you might be questioning some of the relationships in your life, whether that's work or personal, because you're just not sure you can give it your all or give it what you want to give. But I think, again, to me, this really doesn't necessarily as much feel like an ending. For some of you, it might resonate that way, but I'm really just feeling like it's the beginning of a new cycle. Like you're ending something and moving into something new. Like you can see that she's walking away from this and walking toward the light of something else. So it's really just like you're kind of leveling up in this moment. and going through some different things here. And very fitting, now we have the Ace of Cups. So this is funny how these came out, because we've got the Wands on one side, we've kind of got a major arcana card, the Devil, and then we've got Cups on this side. So interesting. This also signifies truly a new beginning, and I didn't look at these before I turn them over. But the Ace of Cups generally symbolizes that you are starting like a new emotional journey. So I do feel like this is kind of validating what I was saying about not necessarily an ending to something, because I think some people might see these cards and feel like there's like an ending to a relationship or an ending of an idea, or a partnership. But I think that it's like people might view it as an ending in a certain fashion, because it's just starting anew. Like you didn't know that you were going to make it all the way around the track. Like I'm seeing like almost like a circular track, and the last part is you kind of going up a hill, and this is the hardest part, but it's going to lead you to these new beginnings that are going to be pretty magical and take you somewhere that I don't think you even could have envisioned. Like I think you're someone who might kind of try and plan things out and do some mental gymnastics and be like, okay, where could this go? Where could this go? What are all my options? And what I'm sensing here is that it's going to surprise even you. Like you couldn't have imagined where this is going to go, but it's going to be a good thing. So just know that you've got some good things coming for you. Let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards. I'm going to pull some Soul's Journey. Oh, this one wanted to come out right away. Literally just fell onto the cards as I started shuffling. Success. All right. So this is interesting. So whatever is going on and whatever you're going through, it is going to lead to success. I love that just came out right away. Let's see what else we might need to know for March of 2022. What is coming your way? All right. We just had a couple fall out at the same time. So we've got acceptance. So you're kind of accepting the situation, or maybe you already have, is really what's going on. And you might be feeling a little bit sad about it. But the key here is that I don't think you need to, because it's just taking you into a new thing, not really truly an ending. But I think you had to get to this place for it to be able to kind of come full circle, if that makes sense. Relationships. So I think again, you might be showing some different shifting of relationships. Again, I don't think it's an ending. I really just think it's kind of a reset into a new situation, into purpose. Like you are going to really be feeling your purpose and knowing what you're here to do. And I think the devil is kind of telling us, like, don't be tempted by things that are going to draw you away from your purpose. And the people and relationships that you have are really going to start to resonate and be on that higher frequency that you want to be on. Let's see what else we need to know, or what's in store for you for March of 2022. I love it when the cards just fly out like they did before, but then sometimes when I get to the next deck, they don't come out quite as fast, and I have to wait for the right ones to come around. Okay, so yes, a new start is coming. So you've kind of got a new cycle that you'll be starting, and sometimes that can feel a little bit scratchy at times, because you're not really sure how to kind of start anew. There's so much purple in this spread too. This is really interesting that we've got so much purple, just color-wise going on. And purple kind of has to do with like free energy, like being able to do your own thing. So I honestly kind of wonder if this is like a little bit entrepreneurial, is like the sense that I'm getting. Like you have an idea, or like you're coming into who you are. Like you haven't really accepted yourself and let yourself be you. And I think you're finally starting to kind of just be like, yep, this is who I am, take it or leave it. And then the people who are going to stay in your life are the people who are going to help you manifest this life that you want. And this might mean that some things and some people are going to leave your life, but that just means that because they're not going to be kind of on your high vibration that you're trying to reach, especially because this says it's time to release negativity. So you can release any negativity that you feel like you've been holding on to. And I wonder if that's kind of like what you're walking away from, and some of those temptations perhaps that you're getting from the devil. This one says nothing is yet set in stone. So sometimes people ask me about free will, and I think that's such an interesting concept. And I feel like that would be a whole other video, but you do have the ability to kind of make some changes in your life for the better. And I think we can always all make changes and kind of be doing different things. And we do have you know, are set destiny paths, but it doesn't mean every detail is set in stone. You can kind of make it what you want to make it. And just know that you're not trapped. I'm thinking like this one actually kind of has to do with this, that you're not trapped. It might feel like it, but you're just working through some things. So you can take a deep breath and just know that it's all going to kind of work itself out. It might be a little weird in the meantime, but it's all going to work itself out. Okay. I'm not getting anything else from that deck, but I'm honestly thinking I might grab one more tarot card for you. Okay, and I'm actually going to use the Tattoo Tarot deck. It's so pretty. I'm just going to see if there's any other message that needs to come out for you in March of 2022. Okay. So what's interesting here is we got more wands. Like we've got the 5 and the 7 of wands. And then this one I think is just kind of clarifying that you are going to have a significant partnership in your life, and you kind of might have a little bit of duality. I think that if you've been having, this is just something I'm sensing. I feel like I'm sensing that if you feel like you've been having some disunion with your partner or a friend, I think that's actually going to kind of, that might be part of this new cycle and releasing any negativity. And I think sometimes we can blame other people for our inner shortcomings and really think that maybe they are the reason why your success is not coming true. But really, I think, again, it is time to look inwards and really be willing to start these new cycles and know that the relationships you have are there for a reason, to serve your higher good. And your purpose is really going to be coming through with this new start, and you will be successful. So just know that I think right now you kind of might be in like a weird intermediate part where you're not really sure if what you're doing is correct. But I think what we're getting here is just stay the path. And I think March is going to be a very transformative time for you in a really good way. So if you would like to screenshot these cards, feel free to screenshot them, and then please let me know in the comments if anything here resonated with you. I'm very curious, and I always like to come back in the next month and see, you know, how these kind of came about or what happened to you during that month. So please like, subscribe, and come back to see me for more videos, hopefully every week, and I'll see you later. Thanks for letting me do this reading. Bye. All right, group number 2, you chose the clear quartz, which generally has to do with like harmony or energy amplification or protection. So let's see what is in store for you in March of 2022. All right, your first card is the Strength card. So this is interesting. This shows me that you are either kind of going to need your strength, or that you are going to be kind of growing and gaining some strength that you have needed for a long time. Now, what's interesting about the Strength card is I always like to look at the imagery as well. So we've got a heart, an animal, and an infinity sign. So if any of those things are resonating with you, like you've got something going on with a pet, or a relationship, and kind of something that is going to be, it's important to you long term. It's important to you, your soul. There's something that you're going to need the strength for to kind of get you through. And I think that maybe you've been searching for that, and that's something that is really going to start coming through in March of 2022. Okay. I'm also seeing that you are going to have some self-expression, and kind of be able to release some thoughts that you haven't been able to kind of let out, and just kind of clear from your energy. And I'm seeing like you are going to feel a lot clearer, cleaner, happier once you kind of get these thoughts out, because you've been having to hold them in for quite a long time. And I think it's just kind of almost like a spring cleaning for you in March, which I can't believe we're already in March. Oh, this is interesting too. Okay. So this is a lot of like what's going on in your mind, and you've really been thinking about things. And I think that March is actually going to be the time to express yourself in a way that you haven't, that may shock some other people in your life. And they might say, well, that's not really you. And you say, yeah, it is. I've just been waiting to kind of let this part of me out because I didn't think it was going to be fully accepted. So the Page of Cups often has to do with like a new relationship, a new start. And you can kind of see up here, like when pigs fly. So just really kind of being able to let your whimsical side out, and be just a little more free, a little more creative, and letting your emotional side come out. Now, this one is always interesting because, so you've got the Page of Cups, and then you've also got the 10 of Cups. And I always call the 10 of Cups like the family card. It's going to be a lot more harmonious in your family life and your relationships. So if you're thinking about possibly taking the next step with your partner, or just wondering how your family life is going to be, if there's been some strife, or there's been a struggle that you've gone through with a family member, or maybe kind of as your family, like as an entire family unit, this could kind of show that those struggles, even if they've been very difficult, you are going to be having a wonderful time with your family. And in relationships, if you're wondering whether or not you are going to be with this person, maybe it's caused you some mental anguish, maybe it's just been, you're not really sure how it's going to work out, but this generally shows that this person is for you, and you are going to be able to kind of have this fulfillment with that person or with your family. So if you have been searching for fulfillment, this is your sign that things are going to be going in your favor in March of 2020, even if they have been really hard and you've had to have a lot of strength to get through them. Let's pull some oracle cards and see what else you need to know in March of 2022. This one just came out really fast. What is this one? Discipline. Oh, this is interesting. So you might be kind of this person where you kind of take your first glance at something and you just kind of go for it, or you don't. And it's one of those things where you feel like it may not come to fruition, but I think if you can just set your mind to it and do one or two things to kind of accomplish that every day, then you are going to really be seeing, again, you're going to see this coming to fruition and fulfillment. Just have that strength. And know that, I don't know, I'm getting that this reading might resonate for different ways in different people. I'm getting like an idea or a business, but then I'm also getting a relationship as well. So it could be even combined. We actually got this one in the last reading, purpose. So kind of finding out what your purpose is. And we also got, this is so weird, we got this one in the last reading as well, and they weren't even stuck together. I did shuffle them back out. So I guess you were both meant to have them. And if you're watching both of these piles, as I suggest sometimes, then you really know that those are for you. So you're going to kind of be seeing what your purpose is and really seeing success. And these two together are such a good sign that this is going to work out for you. Might just take some time. That's what I'm seeing. Ooh, you are going to have abundance. So, okay, these three cards together, it's kind of actually amazing. I would love to see these in a reading if I were questioning if my ideas or my relationships were kind of going in the right direction. This is an excellent sign that, you know, you have everything that you need within you. You just kind of have to follow the path. Let's see what else. Let's see if we've got some of these moon cards. Let's see if the Moonology Oracle cards. What else do we need to know? Group 2 for March of 2022. And I'm recording this just before February 22nd, 2022. And that day is a Tuesday. So this may go up on that day, which could be really interesting because you're group 2. So that would be interesting. If you are group 2 and you happen to be watching it on that day, will you definitely comment below and let me know that you were watching it on this day and see what resonates. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, this one's interesting. What do you need to release? So it almost feels like something has been holding you back from kind of having this fulfillment because you still have some stuff that you kind of need to go through and release. And I think like I'm always suggesting journaling, but I think like even getting out in nature and like taking a little walk or just doing something new. Like I'm just getting like you need to change up your energy a little bit. And sometimes you might be feeling like a little antsy in March. Like you might be feeling like, okay, like I need to like get things figured out. Like this is like my time to get it all figured out. Well, this is really weird, but we just had this card pop out. It's time to take action. So you might be feeling a little bit antsy about something. And I think releasing it and then trying something new is really going to help you in March of 2022. So do something that you wouldn't normally do. That's going to kind of help move your energy into the right place, into what is going to bring you into complete fulfillment. We also have luck is on your side, which is really interesting. So again, releasing the old, and I don't think that you need to get rid of everything. Like I don't think you need to just completely dismantle your entire life, but just kind of like do something that will, you know, help you release it, and then do something new. Like if you've never gone bowling or something, I don't know why I'm saying bowling, but just do something that you haven't done in a while or that would bring you some nostalgia from childhood. This is so interesting about the Chariot. So maybe even traveling, I'm seeing like going somewhere new, perhaps by yourself, like doing a solo trip, going with a partner or a friend, and just kind of getting that new energy in is going to completely revive you without having to, you know, dismantle your whole life. Because I sense that you are sometimes a person that feels like it's all or nothing, and you have to just like completely start fresh and completely start new, or else it's not a valid like energy transfer or something. But really what I think you need to do is just get some new in there, and it will kind of like help you release things that you need to release and not feel like things are being awkwardly pushed out, or that you're like being dramatic and changing your whole entire life. You also have the World, which is a really fantastic one. And it just kind of goes to show that the world is yours. And maybe even this is a sign for you to travel to a different country and kind of experience more of the world and get a little bit more perspective on what's going on. And maybe your situation might seem different once you have some different perspective. So take that leap, and not getting any other ones out of here. So I think this is your reading for today, group number 2. So again, please comment and let me know if you're watching this perhaps on February 22nd, 2022. If you're watching it overall and anything resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and comment and subscribe so you can come back for more. And I also always suggest taking a screenshot or a picture so that you can be thinking about this throughout the month and then kind of reflect on it at the end when we do our next reading for the next month. So I will see you very soon. Hope you have a wonderful rest of February and March, and I'll see you later. Bye. Okay, so group number 3, you chose the Jade. And what's interesting about Jade is that it is good for manifestation and also dreams. So if you've been having some really crazy dreams lately, what might be good is to have like a little journal by your bedside and kind of write down your dreams, because I'm sensing that's going to be really important for you coming up, just because I think you might need some clarity, and I think your dreams are actually providing that for you subconsciously. Okay, so right off the bat, this is really interesting. I feel like this pile and pile number 1 are almost like sister piles, like 2 piles, or like there's an interesting vibe, like they're 2 sides of the same coin or something. So if you were strangely at the beginning feeling a tug between pile number 1 and pile number 3, this actually might be a reading. I haven't looked at these yet, but I'm just sensing this might be a reading where if you were kind of torn between them, you actually may have messages in both. So we'll see. But what I'm seeing is that you're going through a big cycle of death and rebirth. So not always a literal death, but just that something is changing and you are being reborn into like an entirely new person or an entirely new reality. Like things are changing around you, and not necessarily in a bad way. Ooh, but you're a little bit resistant to it. And you're kind of holding on to the stability that you have built. This almost feels like maybe it's one of those situations where it's like the devil you do know could be better than the unknown. But what I'm sensing is that you are going to kind of be pushed forward, whether you like it or not. And it may be difficult and you may feel a little bit resistant to this change, but it's something that's necessary. And even though you feel like you've worked really hard for this, it is going to bring you into something that's really favorable, that you're going to have a lot of good things coming to you. Now, here's what's interesting too, is I think maybe you're resistant to it because you're feeling really alone. Like this is something that only you can do on your own. And you might feel like obviously it would be more comfortable if you had people on this journey with you. But sometimes there are paths you just have to take by yourself. And you can see this lovely light is coming out from this person, and kind of they're starting to glow. And I think that's what's happening with you, is that you are kind of starting to get this glow and this transformation that can't be denied, and you kind of can't stay stagnant anymore, and you kind of have to keep going. And change is always uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Ooh, and the wheel. Okay, so what you can see is so interesting, even from this imagery, is that she is really on top of the world, on top of the wheel of fortune. And so this just shows that luck is on your side, and it might be scary to balance up here all by yourself. But if you can just kind of let go and enjoy the process a little bit, and let yourself not be so like tightly holding on to things. Like I'm getting the sense that you're just like kind of clutching at things and like feeling like just, I don't know, just feeling really tightly wound about this. I think it's gonna go a lot better if you can just kind of let go a little bit. But I think that might be the hardest part for you here, is letting go and kind of letting fate take the wheel and take you to your new place. So let's get some oracle cards here. What do you need to know, or what is in store for you in March of 2022, group 3? Ooh, okay. Okay, this is so interesting. So we got worry. I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Again, I think I said this in my last video, but I'm going to say it since it was a while ago, I'm going to say it again. I have a friend who recently taught me something that has changed my entire life. And she said, I will let that become my problem when it's my problem. Let that sink in. I will let that become my problem when it's my problem. That is just, it's crazy to me because it's such a simple concept, but it's so hard for so many people, including myself, where you kind of worry about every single outcome that could possibly happen, to the point where when something actually happens, it's not as bad as what you had just worried about for so long. So I'm learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Like you can worry all you want, but it's still going to be the same. And whatever is going to happen is going to happen. So just kind of letting it go and accepting it, I think, is really the message here. And also, regret. I know that I cannot change the past. So maybe you feel like you're being forced out of something, or forced through a situation that you weren't done with yet. But I think the key here is that it was kind of done with you. Like, that sounds harsh, but I think that like you had learned all that you could from it, and just staying in that situation is not going to do you any good. And really seeing the freedom and knowing that you possess the power and the free will to create your own happiness and kind of be there for yourself. I'm almost feeling like maybe people haven't been there for you like you've wanted them to be, but the good thing is that it shows your inner strength, and it also shows the people who are there for you are really there for you, and they're not just there for whatever you have created that they could possibly benefit from. So I think, you've got some quality over quantity here. Let's get a different deck. I'm gonna get the Moonology deck and see, what do you need to know, or what's in store for you in March of 2020. For some reason, this deck is just not really giving me a whole lot today for some of the piles. Oh, and as I say that, of course, one comes out. Your hard work is paying off. I'm going to put this one up here by kind of like what I think you've accomplished. This feels like you've accomplished something, and it's been really hard, and I don't think everyone has understood it. But again, even if it feels lonely, I think like you are completely working on yourself here. And the people who are going to understand it and have supported you the whole way are the people that you need in your life. The naysayers, or people who have been kind of I don't know, they're going to like show up all of a sudden once you have accomplished what you've accomplished and you have success on your side. They're going to be like, oh, now I'm your friend. And you can just know those people weren't always there for you the whole time. So focus on that quality, not quantity. All right, I'm going to try the Tattoo Tarot deck and see what else Group 3 needs to know. What's interesting is your Group 3 and March is the 3rd month. So I wonder if they've got some numerology there with you with 3s. And 3s are generally having to do with self-expression or development. So that's interesting. You did get the Judgment card. So there's going to be something that comes up where a decision is made, or there's, you know, some judgment that's going to come down the line. And I think that could honestly be you kind of deciding to step into this new part of your persona and kind of moving forward with these ideas and cutting out the worry and the regret and just allowing in that freedom. Let's see what else. What else does Group 3 need to know? What else is in store for Group 3 in the 3rd month of the year, March of 2022? Oop. Okay, this is so funny. For a second time, you got the Hermit card. Now, the Hermit card often has to do with looking inward, kind of having this path that only you can travel. Like, you will have to do something alone here and kind of weather the storm by yourself. But what's so interesting is you can see in both of these cards that there is light involved. And so it's kind of like bringing forth this inner light and letting it shine and letting other people see it and bringing this into the world. So I also wonder if this is kind of an idea that not everybody is accepting of. But you kind of have to just take this path for what it is. Also, the Hermit, the numerology here, I don't know why I'm feeling like these are important, but for this reading, I definitely think it could be. Also, what's funny is the Hermit comes right before the Wheel of Fortune in the deck. So I think you almost have to go through this period of solitude and kind of being in your own company, which might be something that's really scary for you. I kind of get that you worry if like you alone can do this, or you get lonely. But I think being able to look inward and do something by yourself and feel comfortable with it is really, really powerful. Because I was thinking about this on a long drive the other day, that you are the only person who is going to be with you for your entire life. You might share other things with other people, but you are the only one that experiences every single thing in your life. So it's good to get acquainted with yourself since you are truly your own best friend and your own confidant and companion, and you're the only person who's going to be there in your entire life. So just being able to kind of lean into that solitude is okay. And where was I going to go with this? So the numerology here, we've got 9. So I'm wondering if 9 is a significant number for you, because the Hermit came out twice. That's pretty rare to have a major arcana card come out in 2 different decks in one reading, where I haven't even pulled that many cards. So I definitely am sensing that that's a huge message for you here. All right, let's see if there's anything else that we need to know, because you might already have what you need to know, or perhaps you're watching this one and one of the other piles. Oop, what's this one? Ooh, okay. So what I'm sensing is that you are going to be getting some financial gain out of this. So whatever you've been holding on to and you've been working on, it is going to come to fruition. And what I'm sensing is you're kind of going to have like this new energy on the other side, and people may not recognize you. And I think that you've kind of had some worry and regret about leaving that past part of you behind and feeling like, oh my gosh, like, are people going to like me on the other side? And again, I think if you let your true self come out, it's only going to show the truer people in your life, and show like these are the people who are meant to be here with you. And if not everybody likes it, that's okay. Those people were not meant to be in your life for the long term. All right, let's see if we have one more card that wants to come out, so we can kind of get a cap on this reading and see what your March of 2022 is really going to look like here. Oh, okay. So this is interesting. So you and your loved ones are safe. This always comes out for a particular friend of mine. I wonder if she's watching this one. You'll have to let me know if you are. But just kind of knowing that you're safe. I wonder if that's something you've been worrying about and you've been kind of trying to hold things dear because you're not sure if it's like a safe situation. There's something that you felt worried about your safety and you kind of had to hold yourself away perhaps. And this one also has to do with balance and kind of trusting the process. So this one actually kind of has to do with the wheel a little bit. So I think overall, something that you maybe have been struggling with is this balance and wondering if everything is going to be okay. And I think what's so interesting about this spread is it is a resounding, like, yes, everything is going to be okay. Your hard work is going to pay off. And you don't need to worry or have any regret. You just need to kind of look toward freedom, look from within, and know that kind of fate is on your side with certain things here. So I have a feeling this could apply to a great number of situations, but that you will intuitively know which part of your life this is talking about. So please, please, please let me know in the comments if this resonated with you. Please like, subscribe, and come back for more readings every week. And also feel free to take a screenshot or a picture here so that you can kind of keep these. I always suggest that. I have like a little tarot album on my phone where I like to look back at everything like months later and be like, oh, that is interesting how that played out. So feel free to take a screenshot or a picture, and I will see you again for your next reading very soon. Thanks so much. Bye.